Super. So let's start off with one of those hot topics, sustainability. Federico, maybe I could start with you. Just tell us the story behind Atlantis Headwear and your commitment and your company to sustainability. How does that go?
Sure. So Atlantis Headwear began in the 90s with a simple mission to create headwear for people that want to make to love the cap and to make their own. So when we started, we didn't want just to make a simple hat. So that's why we decided at that time to focus our attention to the durability and the high quality of the cap. And when we started to be distributed all over the world, including this beautiful country, we realized that we had a big chance in front of us. That was to make our impact positive on the environment. So this is when sustainability became our main topic. It was year 2021 when we actually decided to switch and to convert all our 180 different styles from non-sustainable to sustainable. It was quite tough to do it, to be honest with you. It's not just a question of materials and fabrics, for example, but it's a full-scale shift because you have a lot of elements in one baseball cap. One baseball cap has more than 10, 12, I would say, different elements like buckram, closure, button. So we have to really to take care about all these things together. So the focus was this, of course, but in the same time, we wanted to deliver the same product that we had before to our customers. Just to make you an example, if you take an acrylic baseball cap, the acrylic material, as you know, is quite common and very popular because it's durable first, but it's also cheaper. So when we decided to convert the acrylic fabric to the recycled polyester, we had to take care about this practice. So we had to decide what kind of material to use, and again to deliver the same quality to our customer. But in addition to this, we have a cap now that is also positive for the environment, for the planet. So I'm proud to say that at Atlantis we can offer cap that doesn't just look good but does good. So this is our mission at the moment.
Just, Federico, very interesting. A quick follow-up question before I ask one of our other panelists for their input. But have you had to make any kind of sacrifices, or how does it impact the pricing going from a non-sustainable to a more sustainable product? Is it costing you more? Is it costing you less? What effect does that have on the pricing? And how does that reflect for the customer?
That's a good question. Yeah, we had to do a lot of sacrifices, of course. I'm sure that these gentlemen know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because first of all, when we started, you couldn't find a lot of solutions in the market. So we had to change completely the way that we approached the production, for example. So in the past, the practice was going to China, for example, and go to the factory and select the fabric you wanted to choose and then go with their fabric. Now the supply chain worked differently in another way. So in order to find certified products and tested products, we produce them ourselves, by nominated supplier, and then we ship to our factories the fabric to use. And this we do it also with other elements of the cap. So, of course, it's a sacrifice, it's a double, triple job, I would say, and it's also more expensive. But for us, in order to give us the opportunity to our customer to buy something that it wasn't that expensive than before, because we all know how the price is important, we decided to reduce also our margins in order to offer the chance to our customer to be sustainable and to do it in the right way,
Fair point. Any of you gentlemen also have anything to maybe add from your perspective corporately on what Federico was just saying? How has it affected your commitment to sustainability?
So sustainability needs to be a serious commitment because costs run higher. Maybe customers are not willing to pay the higher price, may want to compromise there. And so you need to take a hit on your margins, but you have to believe in the concept, only then it can happen. If you always keep weighing profitability and sustainability on a temporary basis, it doesn't happen. On a longer term, you always benefit.
Fair enough. So you take the long-term view. Okay. Mohammed, I'd like to ask you, staying on the theme of sustainability, The trend towards sustainable gifting, how is that shaping corporate gift choices here in the Middle East? Are there eco-friendly options that are particularly popular that you found?
Yeah, let me just allow me to talk a little bit before to go to this answer of the questions. Sustainable, it starts with you. When we are saying that kind of slogan we are using, just a small case study, before I'm using in my office PET bottles. Then how many PET bottles I'm using? I'm using 500 ml PET bottles. You cannot imagine that, like more than 10 pieces daily I'm throwing. I start use my normal reusable water bottles. It's in fact like save 10 PET bottles daily. That is a top of sustainability. And when we say sustainable, it's not means in your mind it's a recycle. It's not means it is a wheat item or PET bottles. No, it's a behavior. It's depends your behavior. The sustainability is a very important point. Like when I'm saying it's sustainable, you're coming in your mind, hey, it's eco items, it's recycled paper. No, sustainable, it's about your behaviors. If, as I mentioned, like 3 years ago, I started to use my PET bottles. I started to use my reusable normal water bottles. I have been save a lot of PET bottles. This is a very important point, and I really love the guys to start to believe on sustainability. We're not just acting; we try to really feel it because it's our responsibility. This is the first I need really to announce about this. Second, about the question you have been shared. When you talk about sustainability, as I mentioned earlier, it's not just a recycled paper. Sustainability, there is a lot of different material. We call the wheat straw, it's a sustainable material, and we call it in the exhibition, when sustainable made technology from a very nice power bank, but it's made from wheat straw. When we are saying the sustainable, also the PET bottles, because I start to use the PET bottles. Last year, we have been create a campaign called I Was a Bottle. We have very nice bag. It say that I was a PET bottles. You are going to make a bags. It's made from PET bottles. Your backpack, it has been made from 15 PET bottles. To be honestly, the client from beginning, they don't care. But right now, there is a lot of tenders and the government to start, hey, I need a bag, start from our PET material. Then we need, as our responsibility also, to educate our client well what it really makes sense for this. Because as my friends have been sharing right now about the cost of sustainability is, but it makes sense even if a little bit 10% higher, it makes sense because it's our responsibility as well. If you just focus only on profit, it doesn't make sense. Then sustainability, of course, we are talking about the arbit materials, like the bags made from PET bottles. We make coffee grounds, cups from coffee grounds. Then we start also to use right now the recycled stainless steel. It's also sustainable as well. And I'm really happy to share that a lot of clients in the Middle East right now start to look, hey, Muhammad, do you have a sustainable product? Or to my team, then awareness is there. Like really the client in the Middle East right now, especially in Dubai, they are focused very well on this. Dubai started already the initial of 221, like no paper, like paperless.
Yeah.
Then it's supporting also this. Then now most of the clients really have the knowledge about sustainability, and we are in the track on this. We make sustainable, but with the fashion. As Atlant's mentioned right now, we are saying it's a headwear. It's a very nice, but it's a fashion. We make a very nice pouch. It's a really fashion with a very nice color, but it's made from PET bottles. Then it's not about sustainable. You're coming in my way, it's expensive, or it's not. It looks like a little bit ugly, like it's from garbage. No, at all. It has been changed a lot. Sustainability, it's your behavior, and really I need to share that sustainability starts with you.
That's, your point's very interesting, that it's a behavior and it's a mindset as opposed to just kind of a choice on price or trying to tick a box. And I was also interested in what you said just now. It's almost a 180-degree shift from trying to sell a sustainable or recyclable or eco-friendly product to people actually coming now and asking
right now, yes,
for something like that. So how long would you say, how many years has it taken to see that shift?
We have been starting in 2018. At that time, there is like no much interesting at all. And from last 2 years, we start to be a trend. A lot of customers, they come us to get. It's like talking about 4 to 5 years. But we have the vision. Like we have the vision of 2030. All of our product, 95% of our product, it will be a sustainable product.
Very, very ambitious goals, the 2030 sustainability goals. Shirantan, are there any examples that you would like to share corporately that you've done?
I'm carrying an example with myself. So sustainable. We were speaking of sustainability. Yeah. So demand is there, and this notebook I'm carrying is again from an eco-friendly material. So personalized sustainability, when Mohammed was also saying, you over a period of time, what I also see that with more and more companies joining hands, the scale will be there in sustainable products and hence margins will also be there. As of now, they might be sacrificing on the margins, what Federico was also speaking about. But as and when the demand grows, people are at it, more and more companies are believing in it and at it. Like Mohammed was saying, it's almost 4 or 5 years, the pace is picking up on these sustainability products. More and more demand comes up, the demand will be there, the volume will be there, and hence margins will also be there. In the longer run, we need to believe in this, and definitely in the longer run, we will all have a world where most of the products we will be using probably for gifting might be a sustainable product against the non-sustainable. Yeah.
Biren Kumar, we heard from Mohammed, and he's saying that, his customers are now asking him for sustainable products. But I want to ask you for your opinion. Is sustainability, as far as you're concerned, genuinely being embraced in that corporate gifting industry? Or, do you think a lot of companies are just sort of greenwashing the term that we use? And, if they are, why is it important in that sort of corporate and promotional gifting world?
Yeah, really interesting question. But the most important thing is to understand what is greenwashing. Greenwashing is, doing something and showing something else, or speaking half-truths, or hiding something, or not using sustainable material but making it look like sustainable, or talking in a language which makes it look like sustainable but is not genuinely so. So it's completely opposite of transparency. So I don't believe every product need to be 100% sustainable, but every product need to have a measurement. This product has 71% recycled material, but 29% is not. When you can declare it that way, you are not greenwashing. You are doing service to sustainability. So greenwashing is rampant as on now, yeah, because even the end clients, though they ask for sustainable products, but they really do not understand where and from where to start in reality. So at Jasani, as Mohammed mentioned, we began about a decade ago, and we started with basic materials that were sustainable, that were either made from farm produce or made from recycled plastic or whatever. But we did not have really certifications to prove that, and came a second stage when we started using certified recycled materials, and came a stage when we started measuring the carbon impact of every material, and came a stage when we start offsetting the carbon footprints by one way or the other. So this has been a gradual journey for us. The latest one from our point of view, because we want to be very transparent, we want to be completely informative and completely clean about what we do. Whatever we do, we put it on the media, we put it on our website, we put it on a catalog. Anyone can come and question us. You have mentioned this, now prove it, and we are ready to prove it. So that is the whole idea behind sustainability, greenwashing, differentiation. Now we have developed with a French environmental agency called EcoAct. We have been working with them past 2.5 to 3 years, and we have developed a carbon footprint calculator. Any product that is a gift item or even not a gift item, we can measure the carbon footprint from production up to the end of life cycle with an accuracy of 70%. 70% accuracy is a very good accuracy because so many things keep changing during production and things like that. So we are also able to then offset this carbon footprint. Now, again, coming to the costing part, as Federico also mentioned, sacrifices have to be made. So whenever we made those sacrifices, we took a hit to our pocket. We did not pass it on to the customer. So I would believe this is a differentiation between greenwashing and belief in genuine sustainability. Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you very much, Biren. And I was going to ask you, Federico, with your particular products, are you seeing any attempt at greenwashing in some of the areas that you deal with any of the corporate customers that you deal with, or not really?
Yeah, unfortunately we face this situation, I would say, every single day. But of course, what we try to do is our best, so we don't take care about this for sure. But of course, as Mr. Jasani was saying, it's very important to give tools to customers and to show them that you have a proof of what you are doing. So we started this in 2018 when we developed our track system. So inside of an Atlantis cap, there is a label. If you scan that label, you can see all the supply chain from the cotton field down to distribution of that cap. That was the first step. And then in the years, of course, we developed a framework. So now we have a framework that we have to follow to become fully sustainable by 2025. So we know exactly what we have to do in every single period of the year. And as Mr. Zassani was saying, we also have our own carbon footprint calculator. That's another important thing. Basically, people like to have, the opportunity to know the story behind the product.
Of course.
So once you give them the chance to get involved in it and to use some tools that you provide and you publish on your website, this is when they really trust in what you're doing, of course. So, when you are in this kind of situation, you try to avoid talking about greenwashing because this topic is quite sensitive. I mean, you have to do many, many things right, but every year or every month, regulations are changing. In Europe, for example, there are new regulations coming on. In United States, the FDA is changing the new green regulation again. So you have to really take care about every single step, every single day of what you do. But of course, we try to do our best practice as our consultancy are teaching us and follow this path in a proper way, in a transparency way, I would say. Transparent way, sorry.
Thank you. Do you know, this is a bit of a random question before we move on to the marketing in the Middle East, which I'm going to come to in a moment, Mohammed. But several of you mentioned 2018 as being quite an important year when you tried to start implementing many of these changes. And that was obviously just before COVID. That time during COVID, did that give you did it set you back, or did it give you the time to actually work on your sustainability principles corporately? Just a question for any of you.
Go ahead.
You would like to take it?
No, we did not stop this journey at any point of time. You were always there.
Maybe to make it a little bit slow because of the
Long-term play, yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Fair enough. Let's have a look at the market, Mohammed. Different cultures, different regions. We've got different perception of gifts, of colours, of what you can and can't give and receive. So if we look at the Middle East, that's an area of expertise for you. So how is corporate gifting perceived in the Middle Eastern business culture? And is it unique in any way to anywhere else?
First of all, I'm part of Middle East. I'm an Arab person, and main culture we are saying something. Tahadu, tahabu means giving, and we love to give.
Yes,
that's
very
our
much so.
culture. Like our Prophet Muhammad said that tahadu, tahabu means when I give something, like you'll get love. Like even I give you a free plastic bin, you'll smile, right? Then once I give the gift, it's really smart. It makes sense. Then our culture as an Arabic, we love to give. Then and the hospitality, as you guys know, then we are focused very well. When it moved to the corporate gifting, the same mindset is still there. Like when you go to an Arab guy, hey, I have to get gahwa, right? And you have to get dates, and that's our hospitality. On the same culture, it's moved also to corporate gifting as well. Then the client love to have something really nice. And we are only, I think we are different than the wallet for the packaging. We love to have a very unique gift set. We love to have the packaging. Maybe in Europe, they don't care much about the packaging. They don't like to spend much more in packaging. But for us, first impression is very important. When I give a gift, it should be a very nice packaging. Then, of course, our culture, its effect on the corporate gifting, keep the client select the best in terms of an items and also of the quality as well, and the same time of the packaging itself. I think it makes us different than the others.
And Chirantan, if we look at, say, the Asian market or the Indian market, how is it perceived? How's corporate gifting perceived in the market? Because again, quite different
Sure.
for the Middle East.
So as Mohammed was speaking, so coming from India, the gifting as it is, it's there, but again, it has its connotations. Like if you go overboard with gifting in India, it's again has a conflict of interest or those kind of side talks are associated with gifting. But here it's more personal. It's not a very transactional thing like in India or otherwise. Gifting, sometimes you might gift, but it's a very transactional thing of some give and take relationship. You give a transactional gift. Here, gifting has far more deeper ramifications, far more deeper connotations. It is a very personal thing what you trying to create a bond, a long-term bond, and gifting is not looked down upon like they're having some conflict of interest or something like that. It's deep-rooted cultural heritage is there in terms of gifting. It is that sets it apart, Middle Eastern gifting culture from other parts of the world, what I would say.
And what about in the European market, Federico? What is your perception? Because again, my recollection of years ago when I lived in the UK, there are quite tight regulations and things about what you can and can't gift, and there's tax implications and all sorts. But in Europe or in Italy, what are the implications there with the corporate gifting? How is that perceived in the culture there?
We have a different perception. The market in Europe, in my opinion, is quite different than here. I mean, the culture here that I can feel. I mean, as I told you, I'm not coming from here, so I know the culture through our distributors. This is my second time in Dubai, so I don't know the culture very well here, to be honest. But what you say is true. I mean, I felt when I came here, the hospitality as a very big value.
Did the distributor do a good job for hospitality or not yet?
Yeah, they did. They
did a good job. Thanks for that.
They're super nice with me. But I can feel that there is a big difference between Europe and here. And when you in Italy, we say that when you enter in a house, in a new house, you should take off your shoes,
yes,
and be careful and be very polite. So this is what I'm doing here. So whatever we do here is through that gentleman sitting over there. So I'm just listen to their needs, to the suggestions they give us, because it's not that easy to get into this new world. But I believe we are doing it in the right way, and of course, we put in the trust in the people that can do this for us.
Thank you, Federico. Biren, just moving on to B2B gifting functions. As a marketing medium known as product media, now, could you elaborate on that? In the context of the Middle East market, just put that into perspective. Explain that to us, if you would.
So amongst all kinds of media, gifting is the only media where you actually get something in hand. Otherwise, you just watch a commercial on TV, you listen on radio, you just get some information. This is the only media where you actually get something in hand. It's really important. So the haptical part is important, the touch and feel is important. Now, with all of these things, a brand will ask the question, am I benefiting out of this? Why don't I just put an advertisement in a newspaper? Why don't I just hire an influencer? Why do I put money into gifting, which is product media? So there should be a return on investment, and ROI needs to be calculated. So there are effective ways of calculating ROI, but the market is yet not so mature to understand it that way, and hence the market still treats it as a freebie. Nothing is free in this world, right? There's no free lunches. So if I'm giving a gift and you're putting it on the table, my brand is there, the people who come into your office know about it. There are some products, and we are all here doing differentiated products, and differentiated products can become the talk of the meeting. When someone enters your cabin and you have something so differentiated, you start talking about it. Oh, what does this do? Oh, okay. So it has this 7 or 8 functions. Wow. Oh, this is so useful. And then you see the brand, and then you associate the brand with innovation, with differentiation, with quality, with design, and this helps you, the brand, have a great recall value with that particular loyal client and the people around that client. So there is ROI on product media that needs to be calculated, and once it is done, and it is proven, it is the highest ROI. More than television medium, more than any other medium, is the highest ROI. It's direct to a person whom you want to hit. It's not a Coca-Cola ad that, 50 million people will listen to it or watch it, but will say, no, I don't want to drink Coca-Cola. This is direct to the person who means something to you. You're going to exchange something with him by way of commerce, and you are setting the ball rolling. I believe a big role of gifting companies, so to say, in helping the client select the right product. It's very important. Usually what happens is the client has fixed ideas and we are just product pushers. And that's not the right way to go about this. I consider that we are doctor of gifts. If someone comes to a doctor and says, I like this pink medicine, but I don't like this blue medicine, will the doctor say, okay, since you like the pink medicine, just take the pink medicine? No. You will explain why the guy needs the blue medicine. In the same way, you have to do the job of explaining to the client what is the end result he's wanting to get out of this campaign, and go backwards and make him achieve that within his budget. And that is what I call as a right gifting medium, the product media, which gives you the right ROI. It can be measured, it can be calculated. There are ways of doing it. Thank you.
I love that idea of the doctor of media, the doctor. It's like you're a consultant, really.
Yes.
I'm going to come to you, Mohammed. I'm just
adding on to ROI thing that Biren was referring to. And for digital advertisers and marketers, like ROI is then cost per impression is how we calculate the ROIs of our advertising campaigns. So in terms of cost per impression, if you were to calculate for product media, now just take an example of a gift. It might be costing you 10 dirhams. In a lifetime, suppose that product lasts for 1 year in the hands of the client or the recipient. Just imagine the kind of eyeballs that gift would gather. Thousands. And what kind of a cost per impression you're getting? 10 dirham for 1,000 impressions. What kind of any other digital media would not give you such kind of cost per impressions? And hence the ROIs are very higher comparison to any other traditional modes of advertising.
Mohammed, please add to that. Do you find yourself a consultant and trying to guide your clients?
I just need to add something on the Biren, what he mentioned in ROI. It's about the lifetime. How the lifetime of the gifts, if you are saying about, let's say, a plastic pen on your table or a calendar on your table, I'm sure that it will stay a year on your desk. But if I invest on the social media based on ROI, it will feel fast. You'll forget it. You'll swap it. You just pay money for this. But the gift item, the ROI, the lifetime of the gift item, one of the best lifetime ever for all the media production, whatever is social media and others as well.
So, Chirantan, to ask you again, what types of gifts do you find are most popular in the Middle East for corporate gifting? Are there certain items or categories that you find are consistently winners with your customers?
So when it comes to gifting, the kind of gifts or the categories of gifts actually keep on changing throughout the year depending on the occasion or the time of the year. While there are regular gifts to employees and clients that are popular throughout the year, typically personalized items on stationeries or electronic gadgets. Again, sustainability plays a part there. Personalization plays a big part there. But personalized, sustainable gifts of electronic gadgets they are popular throughout the year. For special occasions, what we have witnessed is, since again, Middle Eastern gifting, food is a very integral part of Middle Eastern gifting, and hence whenever special occasions or festivals come across, food becomes a core part of gifting. Occasions like a Ramadan or a Eid will have lots of gifting around dates, mamuls or dry fruits. You will have lots of gift boxes around them. An Indian festival like a Diwali will capture a lot of sweets and again dry fruits in it. Then again Christmas is around the corner, and then we will see lots of gingerbread cookies, chocolates, cakes, gifting around those foods. But then food items are one of the integral part around which gifting happens throughout the year depending on the occasion or the time. So that's how.
And do you find there's any kind of overlap or synergy, for want of a better word, between corporate gifting and overall gifting? Do you find there's some sort of overlap there?
Yes, ultimately corporate gifting is not working in silo, because ultimately people who are receiving the gifts are the same individuals. So corporate is also operating in that same environment as the B2C environment. There are human beings to whom the gifting is happening, and there's a lot of overlap. While there are some differentiations in terms of corporate use cases or specific use cases, and some company wants to give something specific to their clients depending on the use case. But in general, there is a lot of overlap in terms of categories which happen in B2C and corporate gifting. So that's the.
Please.
And when I was mentioning food, so I just trying to emphasize on food, it holds a very deep value. Food is linked to abundance, prosperity, and also generosity in Middle Eastern culture, and hence that forms an integral part. Just to add to my earlier answer on food.
Please.
Yeah, nowadays the desirable gifts are those which have become famous in the retail. So good brands like Stanley mugs. Stanley mugs are so popular now, the big Stanley mugs, that globally Stanley mugs are found everywhere with every wholesaler. He has it, I have it, all of us have it, and they're selling very well. So there's a now big link, which was not there earlier, between a product that is a big success in the retail to how it comes into the B2B and how it goes in the hands of a client or a receiver at a lower price and the perceived value is higher. So that part also becomes quite important. So I think there's now a very big link and design creativity, and something that's very popular in the retail. Designer concepts have come into corporate gifting concepts very well now.
Mohammed, building on that, please feel free to add something to that. And I was going to ask you, linked to that,
Okay.
are there some products that sort of come and go out of fashion, and there are others that are just there year in, year out, absolute cash cows that will go?
Correct. First of all, there is a link between P2C and P2B, because the decision maker for the corporate gifting guy, he is the B2C guy. He's the one he's sweeping the social media. Then there is a lot of common item in social media. It make really sense. And come there, a client ask you from TikTok, guys, Muhammad, we are looking for these items. We never think about corporate gifting with this. Corporate gifting, it's just a notebook with a pen, with a power bank, but now it's totally different. Technology is there, then update is there. There is fashion, as my friend Berin shared, that like Stanley mug. It's very common right now. Everyone should have it. I mean, we are very linking what's moving well on B2C. It's linking with the B2B 100%.
Excellent. Federico, I'd like to come to you. We touched earlier on the subject. Since your products, you are global manufacturers and producers of these caps of yours. Have you faced any challenges in promoting that shift from conventional to sustainable products? You touched on it earlier, but perhaps you could just elaborate on that for us a little bit.
Yes, it's true. It has been very challenging, by the way, but it was also a good learning, especially in the beginning. The most difficult thing was to think about that all the different countries we're working with and all the different markets we are working with have a different approach. They're not equally, ready to approach to the sustainability topic. So we had to, to do a big commitment. So we had to build awareness on this and to educate our customers and clients to show them that behind a sustainable product, there is something more than a green choice. There is a smart choice because the product becomes more durable. Nowadays, I must say that we are in a better position than before. That now people give a better value to sustainability, fortunately. Just to make an example, in the United States, customer gravitated towards our product in 2021 when we started to be distributed because we were the only company in the cradle of the cap, like United States, that was offering something sustainable. And so this was the key of our success. So I want to say that Atlantis is not just pushing their customer to buy sustainable, but is inviting them to be a part of a movement that is shaping the future of the fashion and the sustainability corporate gifting also.
Thank you very much, Federico.
Can I add here? There's something.
Please.
The world is now driving and it's so online. Assume a company is giving out a cheap plastic pen in one of these kind of exhibitions. One of you will put this plastic pen, take a picture, put it on social media and say, look, this crap pen which doesn't work. See, the brand takes a big beating and the brands are aware of this now. So the brands are turning conscious to give out, either not give gifts, but if to give gifts, to give durable, proper gifts. I know so many of our clients, they put on social media when they really buy a genuinely sustainable gift and because they want to prove that they're working towards sustainability. Every big corporation has a director of sustainability whose only job is to convert the company step by step into completely sustainable. So once they come to know that, look, my gifting is taken care of, we have people who are able to provide certifications and I can be clean and clear about it. So these kind of things are happening now, and be sure is only going to increase more and more. So the companies that give out cheap gifts, are companies that is going to take brand beating in some time now with such active social media around here.
Mohammed, maybe for some of the people in our audience who are looking to come into the Middle Eastern market, with your experience of all these years in the Middle Eastern market, are there any sort of common misconceptions about corporate gifting in the Middle East that people should be aware of to avoid any sort of cultural faux pas or causing offense?
One of the many challenges we are facing in the Middle East, it was the price competition. It's really the price. It's very important right now. And I can add something on this. I have a speech on 3 years ago in one of the events in Egypt. I give that case study. I was traveling in Europe, and I don't have my own cable. Then I use a cable with one of the very 5-star hotel brand. I will just name it Hilton. And I try to use the cable to charge my phone. It doesn't work. Then here, what I'm saying, straightforward, please don't throw your money on a cheap giveaways. Save your money. Keep your money in your pocket. If you have a limited budget and you are just saying, Muhammad, we don't have much time, we don't have much budget, we need we call it giveaways. When you say giveaways, it means just something will free. Don't forget that. You keep your brand top of the plastic bin we are talking about. You keep your brand on the bag. Once I used it, it's broken. You keep your brand on the cable. It doesn't work. What is the reputation? It's come really 180 degree. It's a bad reputation.
Of course.
Then here we are care about the pricing, but really quality. That's my advice from this platform. What I'm sharing, please guys, look to the quality. Look for long term. As Beren mentioned, everything in social media right now, if that cable, it was in 2000, 5-6 years ago, I would just take a photo. Hey, Hilton, thank you for your very bad quality pen or quality cable. Then better, look to the item. You're going to add top of your caps, your logo, Paperworld. Then if I keep Paperworld, I have to ensure that the quality of the cap, I'm going to keep it. Plus, of course, to ensure if it's sustainable, I have to ensure the certificate and others, because there is a company just look and focus only on this. Then one of the many challenges we are facing in the Middle East, it is the pricing competition. You should find your edge. That's what we all love. We are only company in the Middle East do own design product. You know why? To find our blue ocean. I don't like the red ocean at all. Why? Because earlier we just discussing with Beren about the competition and this red oceans. If you just come on the pricing, I'm not the guy just come on the pricing. We are add value. Each product, it has a story, as Frederick would just talk about. Stories there. Look, when you keep your logo, when you keep your brand, please ensure that you pick the best quality promotional item, even if it's 1 dirham plastic bin. Ensure it work. If a cable, ensure it's really quality. That's the first point. The second point about Middle East, for the overseas supplier that's coming from China or from Europe, please look, Middle East is different. Don't follow Middle East, it's the same as Europe or same as China. We are different. We have different culture. We have different tests as well. There is a case study. One of the company came 6-7 years ago from Europe, and they opened an office in Dubai. After 3 years, close it, and they disappear. Why? They have a lot of thousands of bags or thousands of bottles they need to sell a common. We are not getting the common item. Our clients right now in the Middle East, they are very picky, tasty. They respect the design. They are not going to give a normal t-shirt or normal cap or normal plastic. They need something with function, something that has a story. Then please, when you come in the Middle East, look about our customer. They are very educated. I come to know really, we have an office in Saudi Arabia. I was sitting with the guy, he's just follow the trend. Hey, no, this I don't like. Why? I need something that has a story, because its effect on the brand we are going to do. As Beren mentioned, doctors, I give to our sales guys, we are a consultant promotional items. The guy give a story, you have to ensure the client, when she explained that I have a campaign for this and that you have to give him the promotional item effect on this. 10 years ago, there is Dubai, at that time we are dealing with end user, and they are Dubai ambulance. They love to have some traffic on the website, but there is no one visit ambulance. Of course, I don't like to visit ambulance.com. Why I need to visit? That time it's very new. It's a mouse with the click button. Once you click, you'll go to the website of the ambulance. It was affecting very well because they need some traffic. They need the guy, that time the e-government, they need to get a complaint. You just sometime you need to get a promotional item, the best on the that location. I love how that campaign, the gift and project should affect on the campaign. Then finally, price it's there, and the culture of Middle East, look to the Middle East. If someone come from overseas, look to the Middle East. Our client have a very good tests.
Very, very wise words, very salutary words there that Mohammed has just shared. I'm conscious we've got a few minutes left. I've got just 2 or 3 more questions to round it up, and then we'll open the floor to questions. So looking at future trends in corporate gifting, Biren, what role, for instance, do you see technology playing in the future of corporate gifting business, both globally and in the Middle East, if you can?
So technology is playing a bigger role day by day. It's enabling businesses, it's cutting short distances, physical distances, it's making things happen. Now, of course, gift cards are very popular because you don't want to thrust a gift upon a person that doesn't want that. So gift cards are getting popular. Online gifting is getting popular. Phygital gifting is getting popular. What I mean by phygital gifting is a physical gift with a digital component in there. So either you can scan and do something with it. I give you a water bottle where you can have 20 refills free, scanning a QR code in any of the public locations, for example. So a gift which is physical but is also digital is gaining a lot of importance. And all in all, individualized gift, no 2 personalities are the same. They don't want to receive the same gift. So where technology can enable a little bit of a differentiation in the same product, and that's becoming also quite important. So it's getting deeper, as a subject is getting deeper. It's not staying at the level of just a transaction of a physical product. This is definitely the trend. These guys, Chirantan, online selling would have seen a lot of that.
Sure. So adding on to that, this all technological advancement is helping. Like the new things are like augmented reality and virtual unboxing. So a recipient would like to see the gift, what he or she is trying to get. Even before buying, you experience the gift. So with the advent of all technologies, you are able to experience the gift even for making that purchase decision. So that helps the purchase decision and even are helping reduce the return rates and customer satisfaction. So that way also technology is helping. Yes.
Federico, a question just for you as we wrap up. As the corporate gift landscape evolves, what are your thoughts? How do you see the future of sustainable gifting?
Well, I think that sustainable gifting will be definitely the future. As I was telling to you before, people is always more taking care about the story behind the product. We were talking about product media before, so we all know that when we put a logo on a gift, that gift represents the corporate you're selling to, in our case, of course. So why don't we boost the image of that company with a sustainable product? So this is my first thing. Then I must say that people is very, happy to know the story behind. So our customer really like to understand what material we use to build a specific baseball cap. For example, it could be recycled cotton or recycled polyester or organic cotton. But more than this, they're also interested in know more interesting stories. For example, our visors are made with recycled plastic visor that comes from the fishing nets left in the ocean. So once they know all these things, they feel part of this movement and they're very enthusiastic. So this is the thing that I face now. So they're very happy to know that whatever could go and waste with Atlantis, this is turning into a memorable and a stylish and a sustainable product. So if you ask me what I envision for the future, I can tell you that sustainability, in my point of view, will be the first choice. It will not be an alternative. It will be a standard practice. So in my opinion, sustainable gifting is already the future now.
Fantastic. So very positive outlook there. And Chirantan, last couple of minutes, I'm going to end with you. For brands looking to succeed in the Middle East, what key advice would you offer for creating a memorable and culturally respectful corporate gifting strategy?
So while there are some obvious facts which most of us would know, in order to succeed here in Middle East and be culturally acceptable, brands obviously need to avoid some things like, so don't include any alcohol in the giftings or include anything which has pork or anything in the gifting space. But apart from that, the 2 aspects which Otherwise, brands need to be very sure of it. Already we have touched upon during this discussion 2 aspects which I want to reiterate again. One, presentation, because that's the first impression. Again, we have been speaking up, hearing this since childhood. First impression is very important. Make a great first impression. The presentation is the first impression of your gift. This is as important as the gift itself. So make sure you have an elegant packaging that looks great and aesthetically pleasing while handing over the gift. That's the first thing that as a brand you should be aware about. Second, obviously, again, we have spoken at length on it, quality. Very, very important. Don't, many a times brand think that, okay, this gift is just to give away and then it's not associated with my brand. Take an example, I'm a real estate brand. I might be giving away pens and notebooks to my clients attending my workshop. Okay, how am I related? It's just a notebook. But then no, subconsciously the customers will associate your brand with that suboptimal quality notebook or a paper or a pen, and then your brand image and everything will go for a toss. So please make sure quality, we should not be cutting corners just to accommodate more number of gifts within that stipulated budget. And so presentation and quality are two.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.